Hey, how you doing today? I'm going to be working on taking the stock radio out of a 2005 Subaru WRX. This is a wagon, but I don't think that matters. I looked on YouTube several times for a video with this exact radio, but it wasn't on there, so I figured I would do it myself and post it. Alright, so it's pretty easy to do. First thing you're going to want to do is take off the shifter knob just by twisting it counterclockwise until it comes loose like that. And the next step is also pretty easy. You're going to want to take this bottom piece of the center console off, and for me, all I needed to do was stick my fingers in here and pull up and towards myself until it just pops off like that. The next part is behind here. You can't see it probably, but there's a wire connected to the cigarette lighter as well as this light bulb. So the cigarette lighter, just pull it straight out, and then for this light bulb, just twist it. It'll come right off. Set that aside. Alright, and there's a few screws down here that we're going to need to take out. If you see those two, they're just here and here. Those are the only ones that you're going to need to take out in this portion. So the only tool that you're going to need for this job is a Phillips screwdriver. Just take those out. Set them aside, you're going to need them later, obviously. Alright, and two. Alright. So for the next part, you're just going to want to reach in here, pull it towards yourself, and it pops right out. And then there's another clip just in here that you're also going to need to pop out. So slide your fingers up here and give it a little bit of a pull, and it pops right out. So as you can see, there's clips here, and there's also a bracket right here to hold it in place. And I didn't want to mess with taking all these wires off of the thermostat and things, so I just roll it over to the side like that. Alright, next we're going to look at the screws that are around the face of the radio, and there are 6 that you need to take care of, all easy to get to. There's 2 here and 1 back in here, and then there's 2 over here and 1 back here. The biggest problem I had with this part was holding on to the screws after I got them out. If they fall down in, you're going to have trouble finding them. So just go ahead and take all 6 out. And for these back 2, it might be easier to grab them as you pull the radio out. Alright, once you have all 6 screws out, you can just slide the head unit out. And then it's going to be connected in 3 different places. You've got the ground wire here, and that just pops off. Tug it on it. And then behind here, you have the wiring harness. Push down on the white clip on top and wiggle it out just like that. And then lastly, you've got your antenna cable over here. And there is your head unit out. You go ahead and list it on eBay. The next part of this video is going to be about taking these brackets off that are on either side and then remounting them to your new head unit. Okay, so next what I'm going to show you is how to take the stock mounting bracket off of your stock stereo and then put it onto your new head unit. So as you can see, this is our stock unit, and it's got the mounting bracket on still with 4 screws, very easily taken out again by a Phillips head screwdriver. And I have already taken the other side off just for a quicker video. And on my new head unit, it's a JVC. It came with this bracket on there, which I need to take off, and to do so I need to take these 2 small screws off the front. Alright. And then this mounting bracket that I'm not going to need, slide off the back of the radio. Just like that. And then also, there was this bracket that's on the radio still that was to hold the other piece on. I can get rid of that. And this might not be true for yours, but I'm going to use my old mounting bracket, so I do need to kind of strip down these other parts. It's easy enough. Alright, and then that just pops off. And then I'll go ahead and line this up so it's on the holes. And I did have to go to the hardware store and buy some longer screws because some of the screw holes are sunken in a bit on my new radio. So I went to the hardware store, and these were metric 5, and I just needed to get some that were a little bit longer so they could reach in to the stereo. Just take one of your old screws with you to the hardware store, and someone can help you out with that if you are not familiar. But again, they will reach better than the old ones will inside to the threads. There you go. And so now my stock mounting bracket is on my new stereo, and just slide right into the old compartment. Just real quick before we go back out to the car and reinstall our new head unit, I wanted to mention a couple things that you're going to need. Obviously you're going to need your new unit that's got our stock brackets mounted that we already talked about. And if you notice on the back of my stereo, it's got a microphone input as well as a Bluetooth USB cord. Yours might not have these, so I'm not going to worry about explaining how to install those to you. But just in case you were wondering what those are throughout the video, don't worry about those. As well, you're going to need an aftermarket wiring harness that looks something like this. This is a Subaru specific harness that you can get on eBay or at Best Buy or someplace like that. And you will need to splice these wires to the wiring harness that came with your stereo specifically. Alright, and to do that you just need to intertwine the wires and then wrap them in electrical tape. But you can watch videos about that on YouTube as well. I did. So let's head back out to the car. Alright, here we are back in the car ready to put our new head unit back in, and basically it's a reversal of everything that we did to take it out, so it should be pretty easy. Alright, so we'll start by connecting our new wiring harness to the original in the dash. Just like that. And then plug that into the connection on your new stereo. Hear it click. And at that point, you should hear it fire up. And we're also going to plug in our antenna wire, which is on this side. And then lastly is our unit ground, or for the case. Just like that. Alright, so push all the wires in behind. Just like that. And so from here, you're just going to put all 6 screws back in, and then you'll clip your face back on there. And then once you've got everything rewired, it should be good to go.